Hello everyone! Welcome to this very special video. Today I have a new computer case to put everything from this machine into. You know what I'm saying? Are you ready to do this, Matt?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's do this. I've been wanting to switch up my case for a while now, and when I saw the Thermaltake Core P5 for the first time, I knew I had to have it. The clear acrylic panel on the front and semi-modular configuration allows you to show off your PC's internals to the world in any configuration you can imagine, and the open-air design allows for easy access and fantastic water cooling support. This case is built strong. It's made of mostly metal. This is much more aesthetically pleasing than plastic and offers more support and protection for components. If you want to see a review of this case, give this video a like, and once I upload it, click on the link in the video's description to view it. For the specs, I'm obviously using the Thermaltake Core P5, which is about $120. For the motherboard, I went with the BioStar TA970. I went with this motherboard because it was only about $60, and for that price you get a lot. There are 6 USB 2.0 ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, an Ethernet port, and sound ports on the I/O. This motherboard also has SLI support. However, there are no USB 3.0 sockets on the motherboard, so in order to utilize this case's USB 3.0 ports, I used a random PCIe USB 3.0 card that I found. For the CPU, I chose the AMD FX 8370 8-core processor with a clock speed of 4 GHz. I went with AMD on this machine because I originally built it on a budget, and this CPU was only about $200. Compared to similar models from Intel, which are priced around $350 to $400, this was a bargain. I'll be replacing the stock cooler with the Cooler Master Hyper T4, which rings in around $25. For my RAM, I went with 16 GB of Crucial Ballistics Tactical in the form of 2 8GB sticks. This was about $80, which is a pretty normal price for this much RAM. I have a 2TB Hitachi HDD, which I don't remember the price of and I can't find it online anymore, but similar hard drives are about $80. I also have a SanDisk Ultra 2 480GB SSD, which was about $170. For internet, I usually use Ethernet, but I do not have access to an Ethernet connection in my room at home, so I threw in a TP-Link Wi-Fi card for $30. The graphics card was the most important thing as I built this computer primarily to game. I went with an MSI GTX 970 for about $360. I went with the 970 as opposed to the 980 because it is $170 cheaper, and although the 980 offers about 7 frames per second more on average in most benchmarks, I do all my gaming in 1080p, and this card can handle pretty much everything that is out right now at max settings above 60 frames per second. To power it all, I chose a Corsair 750 watt power supply for about $85. Oh, and I threw in an LG M-Disc burner for like $20. That brings the total cost to about $1,230. Not bad for a high-end machine. I have a pretty extensive record collection, and I would love to play my records directly from my computer. I went on Newegg and searched for an internal record reader/writer drive. Now, this may surprise you guys because it sure surprised me, but my search returned no results. So I did some more digging, and it turns out they do make external record reader/writers. I found a great review by a very famous and cool YouTuber named P. Crussell, something like that. Anyway, he pointed me towards this external record drive, the AT LP60 USB turntable. Just like he said, it came with a whole bunch of cables and shit. Now, let's build it. First, I'll have to remove everything from the old case. I'll start by unplugging the power supply and removing it. I also unplug any SATA cables and remove the drives. Next, I remove the GPU. Then, I unplug everything else from the motherboard before unscrewing it and transferring it to the new case after installing the motherboard standoffs. After installing the motherboard, I attach the PCI card shelf that extends outward from the motherboard. I then install a PCI extension cable so that I can install my graphics card on this shelf. Next, I install the Psu supports and install the PSU. Then, I install the graphics card and the Wi-Fi card. I'll be installing the Wi-Fi card directly to the motherboard rather than using an extension cable because when the metal bracket is removed, it's light enough that it won't fall out, and I also don't have any more PCI extension cables. After that, I install both my hard drive and SSD. The hard drive actually went inside the wall, as I like to call it, and the SSD was screwed directly onto the front. Finally, I installed the DVD drive. For this I had to get a little creative as there's no support for front drives on this case. So I just screwed it on sideways where the radiator would go and called it a day. And that's pretty much it. It's done. Now time to power it up and hope it works. And it totally does. So there you have it, guys. This is my new computer. It looks very, very cool. This case was a blast to build in, even though it took me 12 hours to build in it. That's only because I was filming it while doing it, and it's a modular case, so I had a lot of decisions that I had to make, and I would often install something somewhere and then change my mind about it. So while it took a very long time to build, it's definitely one of the most fun things I've ever built in my life, and it's totally awesome. I recommend this case completely. It might just be the best case ever created. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you really liked this video. If you thought it was interesting, please give it a like. It really helps us out, and it's awesome. And also leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for the future. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy 2016. See you later. Bye. Cool one's done.
Like all communication should be more like this.
Me too.
It's so open.
I like it a lot. Super, super cool. Super, super califragilistic expialidocious. Fuck.